Don't know when this world got so politically correct, but I'm not liking it. Something I want to get into, so let's get to it. How you doing, guys? One thing I've always hated was the feeling of having to walk on eggshells around certain people. So you don't offend them. You feel very uncomfortable walking around them, so you tiptoe around them. And they generally can be the most offensive people going, but you're worried about offending them. I had a YouTuber, next JW YouTuber I was talking to a couple of years ago. She's from California, who was very upset because she was getting bored with the Jehovah's Witness topic, which I can understand. It does get redundant after a while, and she kind of wanted to go off in her own direction with other topics, which she did. She was actually quite intelligent. But she mentioned every time she did, somebody in her comments section would usually attack her, and she would lose subscribers. Well, she was attacked by a few idiots at different times, and she had mentioned she was losing those subscribers. And this is something I'd gone through myself at one point. See, when I first started my channel, I had started it about 2 years before she had started hers. And I didn't know much about YouTube or anything about that, so I played it pretty straight at the time. As I got more comfortable in front of the camera, I started to be more myself. And there was one video where I literally had watched 15 people just unsubscribe. I was like, now, at the time, I was watching the subscribe count go up. It was going up slowly, so when I lost them at the time, it was noticeable. I'm like, what happened? I was totally perplexed. It bothered me for a short period when I realized, yeah, that's the norm. And I'm sure that's happened to all of us at one time or another. When she asked me about that, I told her, I says, you know, you're always going to have your core subscribers. Those people that will back your content no matter what, and they'll watch whatever they can when they can. You'll also get subscribers, people that'll subscribe but never watch. Then you get subscribers that will subscribe just to leave you thumbs down and attack your videos. Then you have the subscribers and your viewers that try to control your content or bitch about everything that happens. A couple of years ago, I used to work with a guy here that was into CGI effects. He was going to school for it. And we were both playing around with it, and I was playing around myself at home. Now, when it comes to CGI effects, I'm an amateur at it. But I had done a few videos, and I had nowhere to upload them. So I figure I'll upload them on my channel, see what happens, just for a joke. I didn't expect to get a whole lot of views out of them. It was just something I thought was funny. I had done a video of a satellite crashing in my driveway. Now, it was obvious by looking at it, it was a cheap effect, but I thought it was funny. I had one woman from Germany commenting, "Are you all right?" And I was taken back. She really thought I was injured. So I commented back, "You do know this was a joke?" And she comments back, "What?" And I says, "It was a joke. It wasn't real." Well, she was so upset, she read me the riot act. Here I thought you were injured. And I told her, I says, consider one thing. If a satellite from orbit had crashed in my driveway, the camera would have been vaporized. There would have been no video. I would have been vaporized. My house would have been vaporized. The surrounding houses would have been vaporized. Well, she comments back, "I'm unsubscribing. That was unfair." Okay, nothing I can do about that. Well, she resubscribed a few days later, only to constantly leave these ridiculous comments to the point where I finally had to block her. Much like I had to do with King of Dots. You know, those comments that keep coming and coming and coming but make no sense. So I blocked her, haven't heard from her since then. I've noticed Facebook is very much the same. Now, I started Facebook about 3 years ago strictly to keep in touch with a friend who had moved out of the area. And that was it. A few local friends I knew from here found out I had a Facebook page, so they sent me friend requests. I had about 5 of them. Non-JWs, by the way. All it took was one Jehovah's Witness to send me a friend request, and then the floodgates opened. The majority of Facebook friends are ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. 5 of them are not. Now, I kept things light for the most part. I don't get into political battles because I think politics is a major distraction from what's really going on, so I don't touch on it too much. On occasion, I will. I had put up something political, and I can't remember what it was, and this one girl commented back, "That's not true." Okay. I waited for the reply to explain why it wasn't true, but I got one. Didn't get one, rather. So I figured, okay, this girl is a novice. She doesn't know much about politics. Leave it alone. Now, on occasion, most of you realize I'm not beyond hitting below the belt at times. Now, I've made it no secret I'm having problems with a corporate yo-yo here that has been trying to cost me my job for the last 3 years, and I gave her a clear warning. If this continues, I'm going to hit back, which I pretty much have. She's now on the chopping block right now because of it. And I decided to post a few things on Facebook. Now, for the most part, there were only 2 Facebook friends that know her, so they were getting the gist of it. For the most part, the ex-JWs that read the post got the laugh out of it. I'm sure it offended a few people. They probably just moved on. The last post, I guess, offended a few people. Actually, 4 in all. Now, the 2 girls that knew her went to town on it. They thought it was hysterical. One of these girls lost her job, her livelihood, because of this corporate yo-yo. So, of course, she went in for the attack. Apparently, somebody from across the pond took offense to some of their comments and went after them. Now, I have a simple rule, both on Facebook and YouTube. You can attack me, that's fine. But don't ever attack somebody in the comments section. That's where I draw the line. Now, these 2 girls knew this corporate yo-yos, so they attacked her. A few people came out in this girl's defense, who the post was about, without even knowing who she was. Mind you, if I posted something about the governing body, these same people would have been right behind it, but they chose to defend a girl that they did not even know. Now, I understand most of you didn't know who this girl was and may have been bothered by the post, but for the most part, you either laughed along with it or just moved along. 4 decided to come to her defense. 2 of them not so bad. But this one guy from across the pond got really nasty, and he went after one of the girls. He was taken off guard because this girl didn't take any of his shit and fired back at him. What did he do? He reported her. Got her blocked from her Facebook account for 7 days. So I commented, I said, dude, that was my post. If you were going to report somebody, report me. He comments back and says, I'll say what I want. Well, we can all do that, dude. And I've seen some questionable content on your page as well, so don't be hurling stones. And the other thing, if you want to put on women's makeup and women's clothing and post pictures of yourself on Facebook, that's entirely up to you. I don't bother with other people. If I don't like their content, I simply move on. But attacking somebody's post because you disagree with it or you got your butt hurt over it is stupid. And I had this other woman who attacked me overnight. Now, she did the amateur thing. She attacked me and then blocked me so I couldn't reply. I'm not going to mention her name, but this woman has more chins than Chinatown. I don't deal with oversensitive people too much. Am I insensitive? Maybe. Was that post necessary? Maybe not. Will I remove it? I will not remove it, nor will I apologize for it. My thing is, if you don't like it, move on. But for those of you who get your feelings hurt very easily, it's unfortunate, but you should have known me in the 70s, 80s, and even into the 90s. Anyways, I'm out.